I could be in perhaps one of the more stressful environments, and I have a state of peace, a demeanor, a posture of peace, because I have mental rest.
Mm-hmm.
And, some go out and spend thousands on mattresses and all the things which, I have done. And I've done, like I said, I've done the sleep studies. I've been on the highest dose of sleeping aids, and they didn't work. None of it worked for me. And I found out about this by accident, in a sense. I'm a pretty private person, so even for me to be here today to do this is something normally I want to do, So there was just one day that I was at the bottom of dealing with my issue. And a friend I shared it with a friend. And that friend had heard about this treatment on the radio, and and shared it with me, and I'll be honest with you, I just kind of like put it off because I was like, yeah, okay, I've already done, multiple sleep studies. I'm on the strongest dose of of medication, and none of that's working. So how could this work, right? So basically, I put it off for about another 2 months. In those 2 months, I was at my bottom, and I'm like, I need to do something different. And I said, I'll make a call, and that's what I did. I made a call. I came in. I have since learned the term racing thoughts, and I've learned that that's a form of anxiety. I always thought it was more of a form of responsibility. I do have a high-pressure, fast-moving job, and I find myself as being committed and responsible to my work. But I've since learned that I was actually, out of balance, if I could put it like that, and operating with anxiety, and that was something that I have since learned, and through the treatment, it's really helped me. It's really helped me, and I would say that right off the bat, the first week I was resting like I hadn't rested in over a decade, and I probably should mention that prior to coming here, I did try all the practical medical processes that are there for all of us to follow, such as sleep studies. I done multiple sleep studies. I was on all the different medications, such as Ambient, and nothing worked for me. I just found myself in a state of decline, to the point where I was almost immobile. I probably should note that I didn't have a problem like falling asleep. I had a problem staying asleep. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd start thinking about project issues and issues of the job, and my mind would just start going. Even though I was exhausted, but my mind was always in full speed. Let me see. My approach to stress is vastly changed, and I have a new sense of, not a new sense, but I have a new level of energy. I am fully rested. I do not feel the fatigue that I used to walk around with. I lived with fatigue for over a decade, and I just thought that was just something that could be buried with more coffee. I have to say, for those that maybe watch this, that I have a peace of mind and a peace of mind that it's hard to describe. The best way for me to describe it is when I was a child, I always used to go in the woods with my father for hunting. And it's probably that second week of being in the fresh air and being in a real serene and quiet environment, and that I had a clarity of mind, and And so for me, I best describe it as like that. That's what I can associate it to. I've quit drinking coffee altogether. It's not mandatory. I just made that decision because of other issues and, that I was experiencing, blood pressure and things of that nature. For me, that spoke volumes with me, that there was such a transparency of honesty, and that the people that are here serving, everybody that comes through here, really are, if I can say it, and not to mix up, but they're caregivers. They really believe that this works, and not just believe it, they see it. They've experienced it themselves, right? Yeah. So pretty much everybody I've talked to have experienced the benefits of this process, and that speaks volumes to me. To consider the cost of not having recovery or not having wholeness in your life, and what that cost is, right? Because for me, there was a big impact on my family of irritability and just not being who I am, because I wasn't rested, and psychologically and emotionally I wasn't me, So I would say put that off on the side, find a way to make it work, and give it a try.